I believe that there have been periods in fashion communication and fashion visualization where the choice of models have been more diverse than at other times. We may have hit some periods where there was absence of diversity, but I think when a coalition was developed with Beth Ann Hardison that involved Iman and Naomi Campbell and a whole bunch of other models. There was a response to that, and I certainly feel that there is more diversity in print media right now. I would say Anna Wintour has been instrumental in promoting Black beauty and African American stars who are not only extremely accomplished in their various fields, but also very much involved with fashion. And she rightfully has celebrated their beauty and style on the cover of Vogue several times over. So that's a very good thing. On the runway, it may not be as prevalent. I can't always explain why. I know designers have been quoted as saying that they're creating an aesthetic that doesn't necessarily warrant total global inclusivity. I can't answer that. But I think in terms of print media, it's really much more present. I know there's a beautiful new magazine that a former student of mine is editing and has created called Suited. And certainly in that magazine, she celebrates African American beauty very strongly with extraordinary photographs, layouts, and graphic design. Just very, very beautiful. So that's a great magazine to be inspired by. It's called Suited. So check that out. I suppose there's always going to be areas within the fashion industry where there's not going to be as much inclusion in terms of races representing various disciplines and skills. There are quite a few African American, Asian, and non-Caucasian designers that are excelling. They may not always get the platform to be highlighted as the star designer of a brand, but I know for a fact that there's plenty of non-Caucasian talent at work, in full play, working in the design industry and contributing tremendous talent. Again, certain brands are visually more diverse in their presentations, including the runway as well as print and editorial than others. And I think slowly, if you really take a count, you will see that the shift is going towards more inclusion. Certainly as markets also open up to represent diversity of spending at the level of couture and the very high-end design of product, that's going to directly influence the images and the models selected for print ad campaigns and so on and so forth. So I think it's inevitable. It's a slower process. It's going to take some time, but it is happening. It's a slow process. I think it is changing. I know Vogue has given the cover, which is a very strong and important platform in printed media and on the newsstand. It's a highly coveted piece of paper to be on the cover of Vogue, and I know Anna Wintour has made tremendous headway in celebrating African American beauty. She needs to, sooner than later, get an Asian model alone on the cover of American Vogue. I feel that is something that has not quite been delivered, and people are talking about it. Maybe it's a matter of time. So I try to stay optimistic about all of this moving forward. But I can only imagine, that there are parties that have to sign on for this, and it may not be as fast and as the average civilian may want it to happen. You know, it's political, it's economic, decisions are based on lots of variables that may not always be attractive in how people make these choices. But I choose to remain optimistic. I personally am tremendously inspired by models from all ethnicities. There's a new model who's been making quite a presence in fashion. She's from the Netherlands. She's of Moroccan and Egyptian descent, I believe. Her name is Iman Hammam. And, you know, I mean, she was discovered apparently at the central station of Amsterdam. And then was off to Paris and signed with Viva and DNA in New York, I believe. And she's opened the Givenchy show. And so, you know, Anna Wintour certainly put her in an editorial in Vogue, and now she's, you know, quite visible all over with ad campaigns for Givenchy. And so that's very exciting. And I think more people get accustomed to it, the better. But certainly a good way for people to protest is with their credit cards and withholding it from brands that they feel are not inclusive to send a message. And you know, as everyone knows, in the world of business, economics trumps all, it seems. So I think if the consumer votes by refusing product from brands that they don't feel are up to speed with 21st century living, that's a fantastic message to send out, and hopefully that'll, you know, bring about change as well.